Hey there, I'm JB and welcome to Dutchland. In today's episode we're going to continue working on the big city, and I have some good news regarding to harbour cranes. And the reason why I say good news is because in the last episode I tried to find them with the Find It mod, as in a Ploppable, but they are not there. And I think I know why that is so. It's because a lot of the stuff in the Find It mod is getting used for random assets to make these buildings and industrial parts look randomized. But the harbour crane is a part of a building that will never be randomized, and that is the cargo harbour terminal. So that is the reason why it's not just there. I did find a solution thanks to my America, which I had to download a mod which is called Vanilla Ploppable Surface Building. So let me just show you what I mean with that. I got, by the way, a whole list of these mods into the description, so if you would like to see what I all have, you can find it down there. But I got a new icon right down here, and this new icon, all of these parts down here are ploppable, so it doesn't work like any of these builds down here. Now I could be searching for it, or I'm just lucky in this case that it's right down there. Now there is a but with this, and that is you are forced to use two of these in once. You cannot remove them, you cannot split them up. Later in, City Skylines future, they might have them without the whole surrounding and without you forced to use two of them. And this is the harbour part what I was talking about. So they come always like this. Nothing is randomized on the cargo terminal. That was just a ship. I actually tried to make a crane myself. I call this the AT crane, which some of you might know from Star Wars. Now it looks okay. I could have made it a little bit better, because after I was finished with this thing I was like, that doesn't look like anything. I searched for reference images and then I seen what I had to do, but I also discovered a problem with doing custom made stuff like this. And that is the fact that, well, first of all, in order to copy this thing, I'm going to need to select everything with my mouse, and then I select all kinds of other parts. Yes, I can turn certain things off, but basically what I'm trying to explain here is that if I manage to select the whole show, then I copy it right down here, all of the parts that were lifted up into the sky will reset on floor height. So with other words, I'm going to need to select everything and put it back on its spot, which is just a lot of work. I'm not going to do that. However, I'm going to leave this thing here because why not? I tried my best on this thing, and yeah. So good news, we now have this mod which we can have the harbour crane that I just showed to you, and or I have been doing a little bit of camera work. I've been searching for bits and pieces that we could use in order to make custom industrial areas. Let me just call it like that. And not only that, I have been smart enough to actually favorite a lot of this stuff. So I got a lot more favorite than I show here, because there is no need to show 10 different kind of barrels. And there is a lot of stuff that I'm thinking like, this could be very well used for an industrial area. Yes, even vending machines. So in this case, enough about that. Now, all honesty, on a stick, I have been looking for different bits and pieces that I could be using right down here. But I've also noticed once I lower certain items, the ground will lower with it. So it is going to be very tough to create a gap in here where the roads are not connected up. But there is one other thing that we could do, and that is use the lane connector. And yes, the game will complain about that. I'm going to delete all of that. And, simply, I'm just gonna disconnect all of that. Yeah, this is what I mean with complaining. It also does it like that. Ooh. They've also been saying in that Discord, like, this game is all of a sudden evolving very quick if it's about mods, assets, and all that kind of stuff. So let's just reset it and let's just deal with it. Now, meanwhile, we're building the whole show. We need to keep in mind to keep telling the storyline, look a little bit history-wise and that good stuff. Now, I can imagine in the very far future, this road is becoming ginormously busy because there is going to be stuff here, there's going to be stuff there, etc. So a lot of people will go this way, which in the first place is not a bad thing. However, if more traffic will go that way, still have plenty of space to go, which what we can do is have another road coming from here, passing this area, and then have it a whole new section right down here, right? So we reduce all the traffic that comes to this point. Which I'm trying to say, I have made this road into a one-way only for now, which basically also means that the traffic here can be regulated. So I'm just going to turn all of the U-turns off because it's going to be pretty useless to have these guys go in here, because if you come from this area, you know, just drive that way, right? Now, to be sure that all of the traffic is doing the correct work, we are going to upgrade these roads like that. And then for now, let's just keep it with here, because we're going to change this eventually a little bit. So it's not going to be very useful to change that right now. So I'm going to get rid of all of these, and then this one is going to go there. This one is going to go there. That one is okay to go there. So with other words, we can now remove the traffic light because it's just a one flow, I like to call it. And I'm also going to remove that. So this is going to be a very important split up, and we don't want people to mess with that. Eventually, I think we're going to make use of footbridges so the people are not interrupting the flow down here. But first things first, we are going to need to make this into an industrial looking harbor. This is going to be a small one because this one was here from the beginning of time and age. And yeah, I would like to see if I can find a building that looks a bit storage-ish. Which in this case, this building looks actually kind of what I would like, but it's too big. Now, what I can also basically do, you know, maybe it's a little bit more easier than messing around with all of these little assets, is just do that and let the game decide for itself, and or we can actually take a look without clicking on it what it will do. So this one produces minerals. Now in this case, I do not want minerals. Yeah, this one requires vegetables, living stock, produce food. This is just perfect for where this area was made for. Now I'm also going to make use, of course, of a nice entrance building. Now this, you know, it fits in very well. I like it. Now let's turn Anarchy on, and then we can also place one of these. Let's just say right down there. So for the entrance, I feel like I need to turn this thing actually around. Let's just leave it like that. It is fine. Let's plop down a couple of safety cones. Now I really wish that the road connection I'm thinking of, it wouldn't mess around with that, you know, I'm gonna say silly icon, because this basically means that you cannot really play around with certain other aspects, and I just want to show you what I mean with that. So force all the cars to take this lane. And the reason why you want to do that is because on this way you can actually close down a street, to say. You can place this and people are forced to go that way, which then couple more of these, place some rubble that has been used. But yeah, you know, sometimes the close-up roads too, because they need to, you know, lift a lot of this heavy stuff onto room buildings with a ginormous crane. There are also all sorts of different reasons why a road could be closed off. You can have like little markets or events. Oh, this one looks very nice. You can place like pallets and have it on there, and you know, there are so many nice things you can do with this game. And in this case, the game doesn't complain. Alright, I see that the building is done actually. And that looks actually like a fine building. It's not too big, not too small, a little bit modernized. It has a sign on here, so the ship know or the ship captain knows that it needs to stop here. Okay, so in this case we can actually plop down a bunch of containers. I don't want to go too crazy in the height, of course. And actually, how nice would it be if we could just play around a little bit to fill up some gaps, and we could just grab both of these, move it a bit off the road, place down, I don't know, this says tank, I'm not really sure what it is. Maybe there is some liquid stuff stored in here. Maybe a couple of these guys here for whatever reason. What is in there? Plop down a couple of those guys. Portable toilet, because you know the dude from the crane has his needs too. A bunch of pallets, some other random stuff. A doghouse, because this area needs to, you know, be a little bit secured, and yeah, having a dog walk around scares off people a lot. We also have carports, so we can definitely place it down here, even though we don't have to use it as a carport. Give them the same color, and then, you know, let's put a couple of these pallets underneath here with a certain liquid in them. And then, you know, the reason why they're underneath here is because they need to be a little bit protected from the sun, as well as a pallet with a bag of salt. In winter times they need to unsnow the rail. They need to unfreeze the roads. There we go. Down there is a pile of rubble from broken pallets and crates and whatnot. And yes, there are so many more different mods that you can download in order to, you know, make things look nice and fine. And just to be sure, there are, you know, these containers that I'm placing right now look very different from the ones that are in this package. I'm also placing a couple of them randomly in this pile. Kind of get like a feeling, and look at this, we're doing it, we are creating something custom, and it's very nice. Now of course I'm not going to do this each and every episode, because it is a lot of work, and I will create some custom harbors here and there and so on. You know, there are also some mods which if I click here and here, they don't stay. I'm not sure what the hell is going on. Okay, that one stays, but it's not really something that I want to put there. This one could be fine. Please stay. Okay, this one stays, but that is not really nice. Maybe I can use these guys. Okay. Yeah, like I've been saying before, there are, you know, there are some bugs. For example, the snowplow that I have on one of the buildings that is completely non-removable. I have no idea what's going on with that. Now there are maybe a thing, 2 or 3, what I can also do in order to make it look a little bit more alive, and that is to plant some bushes and trees and whatnot. It's like that. I think it's very important to randomize it as much as possible. Now maybe a lot more could be done, but like I've been saying, it takes a lot of work to get this stuff done. But you can always let me know what I could be doing better, or what is there that you actually like about this area. And I wonder why you stopped here. Okay, it just says collecting. But it says owner recycle center. Now, however, I am wondering... Oh, okay. Ooh, I just thought, why is the road so empty? Okay, so... focus. Okay, only these kinds of cars have like a destination where to go. I wanted to say, what is the destination of the garbage truck? But let me just speed it up to see what is going on with that thing. I hope it's not going to be troublesome, because, man, I already had so much issues with traffic at some point. Why are you stopped here? What is going on? Okay, I'm not sure. I'm just going to delete this guy and then hope it won't happen again. Okay, let me see. Meanwhile, in this place, how are things looking? Because you can see this building here is gone, and the traffic for some reason was continuously stopping here and being troublesome. Now, of course, we have the floating no plow. I cannot remove that. I'm just gonna place it again, because the thing here is that afterwards, I basically changed the road also, so maybe it already applied that it's not going to happen being stuck. We will notice that, and I'm going to keep an eye out on it. Now, even though my America or Mercia, it's saying, feels silly right now. You have no idea how silly I feel. I am going to give him, for helping me out, a name, and I'm going to name it This Between In Street. This Between In Street is very important because This Between In Street might be small, but it's holding up this whole neighborhood down here. America. Ay. Not sure if you will ever see this, but there you go. Thank you a lot once again for the good tip. Alright, I did add a couple more light poles down here because light is going to be super duper important, and it does add a bit of a hype into the whole show, as well as this guy right down here, and I'm not going to touch it anymore. Back in the days, there was like a little farm here, a couple of farmhouses along the side, like chickens or whatever, and once this started to grow, this area here was from the government, and they decided, you know, we need to grow this district, and we need like a neighborhood here. So this is the road that's gonna split up the keywalling and, you know, this down here. I'm not sure what to call it, but say the waterfront. And kids grow up here at the side of the water. They're gonna have a bit of fun trying to swim here between all the boats and Coca-Cola factory that is on the opposite side. Now I want to make use of the keywalling, and what I mean by that is I'm just gonna fix this road out here. Yeah, you can already tell what I would like to have out here. This exact line to be like that. Now the one thing I already had in mind is that this is gonna be a one-way road. People need to go around to get into shopping area. And the reason being for that is there will be a lot of traffic coming from this area. And the reason for that is what I want to do with this neighborhood here is I want people to come in somewhere around here, go into the neighborhood, and then once they come out, they just have to drive around and get in here. On this way, the traffic is not interrupting each other right down here, because all the traffic comes here would otherwise be stopped because the flow like that. I'm not in the mood for that. Now, of course, I will be honest that yeah, I'm trying to get a fast progress going, but it's not always easy. It's way too fun to detail and really take care that everything looks correct and nice, and it's a lot of fun though. A couple of trees and bushes, and or I'm going to go one step higher, and I'm also going to add in some stones, which in this case might be called rocks. I think they're called rocks. I wonder what is the difference between rock and stone. Is a stone a modified rock? Is that what it basically is? Ah, yes, it's called the boulders are big boys. I get it. Starting to learn English here. You know what? That doesn't look too bad at all. I like it. Alright, so in this case, what are we going to do? Well, I would like to have some low residential shopping. And I'm just letting the game decide, you know, do what you like to do. Right, so for this neighborhood, let's just start fixing a road. I am going to just make the roads like I kind of did before, like this. Alright, something like this will do. Now I do have to say, because the hot days are here, summertime, I upload only 2 episodes a week, one of this game and one of the other game. But once the day starts to be chill again, I will upload 2 City Skylines a week besides 2 of the other game, Islands. So you're gonna get more content, and this would build a lot quicker to say. Alright, so we have a spot for a lot of low residential housing. The only thing that I just need to check for 1 second is the power. We still have some available, exporting and stuff. Water trade is 0, that's okay. Sewage and availability of normal water can go a little bit better. This guy, let's attach another Coca-Cola pipe down here, which should be working. No, not working. Hey then. The game can be silly sometimes. Okay. Just took a little while. Yeah, problems okay. Yeah, so the issue is also, I guess, is a lot of ambulances, and I'm moving over to this area. And now I can see why there are districts. We're going to solve that sooner or later. Now this down here is still fine. With other words, let's add another one of these. Perfect. Like that. Now yes, there is space. And there's a reason for that. I want to see if I can create a neighborhood where gardens have a little bit more space. Now, as you can see, these people are very unhappy that there are 0 parks in here. Where that everyone happy except for these folks. Now, what I can do is, I'm sorry, you're going to have to move out. Because I'm also going to think of people that have dogs, right? So, let me have like a dog park. Who doesn't like to live near a dog park, right? Might smell a bit like shit in the summer, but it's you get to see puppies and good boys and happy wiggling tails and a lot of barking. There you go. Beautiful. Right at the end there. Let me create a part how I want it. Thank you, game. Thank you. Yeah, this is very good. I think it is gonna be handy, however, to also have like a little pathway here. And people like to create elephant paths. That's also that. Oh, I could make it here, but some people want to go that way, or I'm thinking of it. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright, so let's tree it up. And after doing a little bit of a cleanup at parts where I don't want to have some bushes and trees, this is how the end result looks of this neighborhood, and I am pretty freaking happy with the result of it. It's really, really nice. And so with that being said, I think it's enough for today's episode. We created a couple of really custom detailed type of deals. We solved some traffic issues. We made a start of the shopping mall down here. Now in the next episode, I would like to create the whole area right down here and just fill in the whole blank. And yeah, see how far we can get. Maybe we can already buy some new tiles at the end, so we can already make the highway and yeah, see what else we can do. Alright, in this case, I wanna solve some traffic issues if there are any. Oh, that looks fine. How about here? Yeah, this one, no thank you. This one is okay. How about right down here? Nope. Turn all of that stuff off.